Hey Phil, welcome back.
How's it going? Looking back, having won 3 times in the U.S., I feel as though it's been an okay year. I would have liked to have had a victory in the majors. I felt like the Masters and the U.S. Open, I had great opportunities and just didn't pull it through. The conditions of the course are tremendous, and now that I've played here a couple of times, I've learned the nuances of this golf course. I think that Sentosa is an amazing development, amazing couple of courses, and this is really a championship caliber layout. But also, I need to know certain areas, and I played better my second year, better than I did my first, and I hope to improve on my performance last year as well. The 16th hole. Going long, the ball will go in the water every time. Maybe when the pin is to the right, you can use the slope to bring it to the hole rather than go right at it. And that will allow you a chance to make a birdie when the pin is to the right as opposed to playing conservative. When the pin's back left, you have to accept par as being a good score. Knowing that and attacking that hole certain ways is very helpful. The hole before that, 15, knowing where the left side of the fairway bounces into the water and trying to avoid that. Because there are areas where the fairway's flat, and there's areas where it will kick into the water, and so you want to play to the widest area. Knowing what club to hit off that tee is very helpful. So, after playing it now for the last 2 years, I feel as though I'm learning this course more and more. I think that we will, if you took 10 players, we will play a lot of the holes differently. There are times, every hole provides great risk-reward, great opportunities to play aggressive, but also great penalties if you don't pull the shot off. And so you have to pick and choose. And a lot of it is not just how the golf course should be played, but a lot of it is how you feel. Do you feel good about and confident where you're hitting the ball, where you can take on driver on number 15? Or do you think it's, if you're not feeling the best, maybe hit 3-iron? And a lot of it can vary day to day. You might play the same hole differently as a player just based on how you feel.
Will help you in this time around.
Yeah, that last year I remember hitting a couple of shots, getting a little bit overly aggressive at some times, and with the new shaved areas where balls are shaved and going into the water, holes like number 7 that affected me when I went after a pin and the ball ran off the green into the water. It showed me that I have to be a little choosier, a little bit pickier about what holes I attack. There are a lot of birdie holes out here. There are holes that you can take advantage of, but there are also a lot of holes that will bite you, that will make you bogey or double. And that I will end up playing some of these holes a little more conservative. Certainly I'll play a lot of holes aggressive, but I will play maybe 1 or 2 holes a little bit more conservative than I have over the last 2 years. You know, it's interesting you mentioned that because I had my grooves checked today by the R&A to see if they were legal, and the clubs I've been using for however many years are legal. They conform to the new rule change. In fact, they're not even close to the legal limit. The only clubs that aren't will be my wedges, my L wedge and 64-degree wedge. So I don't think it's going to be a huge change. What I'm hoping happens is that the rough in many of our courses that get set up not as long. I'm hoping that we have more first cut, kind of like Augusta, trying to get more flyers. But I put so much spin on it already that I'm trying to find ways to not spin it to begin with, and it looks like the groove rule is not going to have much of an effect on the way I've played because the clubs I've been playing with are legal.
Do you think there are other players that it might affect?
I think it's possible that the players that are in their 20s, early 30s that have never played V groove, I think it could affect them.
And as Lee Westwood mentioned after last week, he's looking to reach world number 2. You're current world number 2. I just wonder what your thoughts are on how Lee's playing, and when you hear someone's targeting the place you are in the world rankings, does that mean anything to you? Or?
Well, he's certainly one of the best players in the world already, and the way he's performed in the major championships, although he hasn't won one, he has been there repeatedly. He's very consistent on some of the hardest courses in the world. He's been a very consistently great player throughout his career, and his most recent win shows his talent level. Since I've been working with Butch Harmon, striking the ball better than I ever have, and more confidently than I ever have, driving the ball longer and straighter than I ever have. But I have not had the scores of the results because my performance on the greens has been as bad as it's been in my career the last 2 years. Now, I've had good weeks in there, spread out, where I've won some tournaments, but it hasn't been at that consistently high level that I expect. And working with him has got me back to putting the way I've always putted. I've slowly gravitated away from some of the techniques and feel elements that I've grown up playing. Forward press, my hands have always been ahead. The way my path of the stroke is, and so forth. These little things I've gravitated away from, and he has reaffirmed all that I believe in the short game. In fact, a lot of it is the stuff that I've put in the DVD, but sometimes just hearing it from a guy who's won 2 PGAs just validates it. Yeah, I don't know what debate you're talking about. Everybody that I've talked to is overly excited about golf becoming an Olympic sport. It's the greatest thing that can happen to our sport. It will allow the growth of the game on a global level, and with the Olympic foundations throughout all the countries in the world, I believe that we will have a lot of monies put towards the growth of the game. Educating juniors, teaching juniors proper fundamentals. I think that it will finally get the recognition, the game of golf, the recognition that it deserves. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, since we're still in it, since we're still in the process of treatment and so forth. I'm not sure how my perspective on things have changed or not, because I've always understood how lucky I've been to have the wife that I have, to have the children I have, to have the family that I have. I've always been appreciative of that and valued it, and so I don't know if my perspective has changed or is changing, but my understanding of what hundreds of thousands of women go through every year certainly has changed. I'm much more empathetic to women who are battling breast cancer and how difficult the treatment is. Cancer affects everybody in the world. Everybody knows somebody or has been affected by it, and we're no different. We're going through it like so many hundreds of thousands of women throughout the world, and I've become much more empathetic to that.